Hello everyone and welcome back to Crater City. So as you can see, there's been a few developments around here. I've tidied things up a little bit, but the main installment is these storage silos, which have hoppers filtering things out behind them. So for this one, it's storing all the bones, and if there's the indicator light here, that's by Mumbo Jumbo, I believe. I'll show you that in a quick moment. It's a very simple system. And we've got one for arrows as well. You can see there's a fair bit of disproportionality between bones and arrows, but the biggest disproportionality I've managed to find is in the actual loot items like armor and bows, because this thing fills up very quickly. But our main thing for today is that we're going to be working on the means by which people can get leather here. We've already got somewhere that they can get the sugarcane so they can make paper, but we don't have anywhere to get the leather from to make books to enchant. So that is our main thing for today, and that mostly means that we're going to be making a timer system. So, with that in mind, hop over to my view and we shall progress. So, in order to make the timer that we're going to need, we are going to require another 4 chests. And I will explain exactly how this thing works once I've gotten them. Okay. And we're going to need a comparative. I'll explain this first. So, down here we have the main workings. So this is where all the drops come out. Now, let me just bust through there. Oh, that goes. Oh well, it's not a big issue. I can just grab that later. That, however, is the item elevator. I constructed that right before I left for Insomnia. There's a larger one up here that deals with the item chain that comes from the drops to send that up into the sorting area at the back here. But around the back here we have our array of dispensers, which will hold lava buckets. Now what we need to do with those is we've got the tripwire at the top, so we need that tripwire to trigger a timer, which will count down to about 4 minutes, I think it is. And from there, once it finally switches back over to counting back up, to resetting as it were, we need the lava to momentarily dispense, cooking the now adult cows until they die, dropping liver and cooked steak. So let's just quickly cut out a bit of space back here. We don't really need too much. It's a fairly small clock. That's one of my favorite little designs. So I've used it in a few different places. Let me see, where have I used it so far? I've got it at the back of the sugarcane farm there. That's what's counting around 3 minutes or so. And there's no one of these inside of one stop at the back of that, so that's another place that you've seen this timer. And it's a fairly simple design. It has 2 pairs of hoppers feeding into one another. One is the actual timing section, and the other part is sort of a T flip-flop design, which tells the main circuit which way it should be counting, effectively. Very simple, just 4 hoppers and 4 comparators. Very compact to boot. So we're going to be using... If I nab some redstone from upstairs, and I should probably just clear this off. I put these blocks here so that unwanted items don't end up inside of the hoppers, but oh well, not that big of an issue. Why did I put the redstone? There it is. Okay, so we can see we've got the tripwires there, and if we then, actually, that one does need to be there. Because that's the one that tells it to stop. Okay, so tripwires here, and let me see if I can just fake something coming in. I put this too low. Oh dear. Okay, well that's fine. Although I now know that tripwire hook has gone up here, because it fell onto the hoppers as it should. Okay, hang on, let's just chuck some stuff in here. Because there is a 2-item, what's the word? Fluid volume, I think was the phrase I used, to this stuff, right? Okay. So it's the top layer of those that we need to use. Got it. There we go. Okay, so the baby cows will rush through there because they can fit, whereas their parents can't. They will drop down here, where they will trigger the tripwire, and that will send the timer running. And from there, we have our roughly 4-minute timer, and that will make things quite happily tick along. So we need a torch here to prevent a part of the timer from actually looping over. But meanwhile, let's actually build the timer. So we've got our hoppers. So these ones down here is our T flip-flop part. And they feed through 2 different comparators over here through the block, which is a nice little handy feature of comparators. They can detect things through blocks, which lets you hide circuitry quite a bit. And from there, it feeds into a block, which in turn turns off 1 of 2 redstone torches, which are controlling these 2 hoppers, which actually have the big bulk of items in them, determining how long it goes. So from there we can draw a current from, say, here, and that will tell us which part of its cycle the clock is on. Just stick a torch there. I've actually reworked my Minecraft macros recently. So whereas before I had shift and block placing and mining and stuff on my mouse, the 3 buttons on my mouse, I've now got them attached to my keyboard instead. And my mouse is actually now more hotbar kind of management, so it's just zipping through the different items that I use on a common basis. Yep. Okay, so we need comparators and torches. We're going to need about 3 torches, I think, because we need to be powering a signal into there all the time.
User left your channel.
You? That was interesting. I don't know what that was.
Sound muted.
Okay, that's just TeamSpeak going a bit weird. So let's see, let's grab this stone. I managed to get this Unbreaking 3 Silk Touch pick. Just had a bunch of levels over from working around here, chucked that into the enchantment table and got Silk Touch. So I got a ton of stone, a bunch of coal, I got some glowstone, and I made sure to get a ton of quartz. Because we're running low everywhere in the nether for that. Well, speaking of which, I'm gonna need 1, 2, 3, 4. And probably some oak wood here, so... let's see... Doop. Not going to need that many, but it's 3 per comparator, so we're going to need 3 times 2, 6, 6, 12, there we go. Don't know where my brain was going there. And then we put that there. Oop, not like that, there we go. Then we use our handy-dandy stuff to get our comparators, right. And we've got our 2 torches. Okay, so, back down the hole. Said many a northern man, but... Anyways, past the glitchy stuff there. And... torch there, torch there. Okay, so that locks these 2 hoppers. And we need to put something in here. Let's make a piece of coal. So that's jumping around right now because it doesn't have the comparators on the top here to tell it to stop. So do that. And let's stick these 4 sticks into here. Okay, so now power is coming out of one of these hoppers into this block, which is stopping this hopper from moving around. So consequently the cobblestone is there, which has the dual effect of creating a power piece that goes out of here and into this torch, which if it was behaving properly... there we go, it seems to be working mildly better now. Let me just get rid of that, because the hoppers, rather irritatingly, are a full block when you're trying to actually point through them. Okay, and up, there we go. And back across, so now we've got 1 torch on, 1 torch off, and they are cycling, which is what we want. So, now, if I just grab those those sticks to make another torch, if we have a torch here, we can stop it on one side of the cycle, so there is now power coming out of here all the time, and we can make a pulsar out of that, so when it switches over, it will then finally actually trigger these dispensers briefly, which we could probably use with a chaser. There you go. I'm using a ton of probably linguistic, well, a bunch of lingo, I think would be the more accurate term here, that some of you probably aren't aware of. But what we've got over there is a timer, If you have a timer that requires a pulse to actually do anything and then stops, it's a monostable circuit. And what we're going to attach to it is called a pulse generator. Strictly speaking, a pulse generator and a monostable circuit are identical in function, but they're separated by what you actually use them for, usually. Like, you use a pulse generator to turn a steady pulse, like, when this is stopped here, we've got a steady signal coming out of both of these torches because the thing isn't moving. But you use a pulse generator to turn a constant pulse into a brief pulse, and you use a monostable circuit to turn a brief pulse into a long pulse. So it's sort of reverse. It's the same function, but it's more a question of terminology. It's technical stuff, I should say. It's just me being a bit pedantic. So let's see. We want to let me just go grab a big... Actually, let's stick some items in there and see if this tripwire system now works. So let's grab a bunch of cobble. We'll use the max length time of the timers just to be absolutely certain that this works. And get that out. Okay, so that is the longest that can be. It's about 5 minutes or so, by the timing that I've checked. So, now we shall chuck something through up top, and if it starts to... Well, actually, no, we can just walk through here and jump up, can't we? Easier. Okay, and if it starts to time over... is it going to? Doesn't look like it wants to. It should be able to, but apparently we were a bit too quick there. No, we're not getting anything from that. Interesting. Why are we not getting a signal? Oh, because this needs to be a block higher. Derp. I'd forgotten that. Okay. No problem at all. So, block there. Block there. Redstone, redstone. I kind of want to keep that as it is right now, so let's just quickly make a lever and attach it here. Okay, and like that, and there. Okay, so I've got redstone on top of that, and we'll put that there and just run it like that, so that will send power down. Or it would if I were a block higher. There we go, that's better. So now that's powering that. So hit this. And give this another shot, and we'll see if it cycles. Okay, so it's had its opportunity there. And these torches have reversed, and the timer is now running. So, there is no power coming into here now, so we need to make this into a monostable. Well, into a pulse generator. As I've discussed already, a monostable and a pulse generator are more or less the same thing. And that pulse generator is going to control all of our dispensers. Oop, a little bit of wiggly like that. And I need another torch to go there. No, not that kind of torch, that torch. And up there, and that's now being turned off by that, which is good. And we need a repeater here to create a delay. Because the way that the pulse generator works is you've got two signals which are turning off the same output, or controlling the same output rather, and you use them to have them running at different speeds, so that then when one goes off, it takes a little bit of time for the other one to turn on, resulting in a moment where the output is actually able to be turned on, or trigger, or whatever you want it to do, rather than be immediately turned off, which has the unfortunate side effect that these... the technical term for this will be an edge trigger, by the way, but has the unfortunate side effect of being that you can't really work both ways. So if it turns off, it won't trigger a pulse, but when it turns on, it does. You have to make a reversed version of this to actually get that to happen, but we are just using it for this. So what we need this to do is trigger a pulse that goes across these dispensers. So let's just have some dirt here. And we need it to go across here twice, which is the hard part. Or at least the mildly more hard part. Okay. Good. And, okay, so we get our signal from here. I use something similar upstairs at the witch hut, but it doesn't trigger twice, so this will be interesting. How to get this to run twice then? Well, the easiest way is to just have two repeaters feeding into the same system. So, let's move that over to there, and then we can dig this part out a little bit. Doop, doop. Okay, so we now put a dot there, we put two repeaters here, feeding into blocks that feed up to that, and that should give us our pulse. One thing we do need to check, however, is whether or not the power from a repeater here can reach over there. So let's take a look. Does it make it to a... Yes, it does. We have glowing redstone over there. Perfect. So, take that off, go make ourselves a couple more repeaters, and we'll put a water bucket or something in there and see how that fares. Let's see, I've not got enough sticks lying around. No, nothing. Oh, wait, hang on, I've got all those sticks, of course. Didn't even need to make any more at all. But we are a little bit out of redstone. Fortunately, I picked up some with the Silk Touch pick while I was out. I don't have fortune, but, oh well. I'd like to use this for decoration somewhere, because it's really nice looking. Okay, that should be more than enough. So, two there. Spread. Spread. Go. Doop, doop, doop. Okay, we've got our repeaters, so... Now... we put this over here. Doop and doop. And we put a delay between them. And now, when this triggers, it'll turn on both of these. And this one will turn on first, and then a couple of ticks later this will turn on first. But since this is a one-tick delay... There we go. It'll trigger the dispensers, and then it'll trigger them again, so it'll deploy and then retract the lava. So let's give that a shot, because I have a water bucket on me. So, let's see, water bucket. And I need to trigger that. How is this timer doing? This timer has stopped. So let's... Well, we can trick it by, well, how can we trick it? Well, let's remove that. Nothing happens. Attach that. Nothing happened. What happened there? What went wrong? You're getting power. And this torch hasn't turned on. This is an interesting little annoying problem that I'm getting only on the server for some reason. Which is that occasionally a torch or a hopper or something will go kind of odd. I don't know why it is, but it's kind of annoying. I've had to tinker inside the filter system for a while like that way. Okay, let's try that again. Turn it on, good. Turn... what? See, it's not working again. Why does it refuse to work properly? Okay. Well, let's just do this the hard way then. Torch there. Repeater. Redstone. And the torch. We should hear the dispensers fire twice. Perfect. And we shouldn't find any water in here. Good. We should find a water bucket. Perfect. So that will set all the cows on fire that are in here. And they will cook. They'll take damage initially from being in the lava, and then they'll slowly burn to death. And that will cause them to drop steak and leather, which will be falling into the hoppers, which will travel up the item elevator, and into the conveniently placed chest upstairs. Perfect. So now I just need to lure all the cows down here, and we can give it a test. But I think that will be it for the day. I wish I knew why the torches were behaving so strangely like that, but not that huge of an issue. I may clear this place out a bit more, make it a bit tidier, but for now, that will do. And let's just plonk these back. There, okay. And I did arrange... I did sort this to-do list out. So this is just a list of all the things that are left to do here at the Gemini Grinder. So we've got the automated wheat farm. We have this version over here right now, which people have to grab the bone meal and pick it up and all that sorts of stuff. But Izumavoid recently released a new version of his nano farm, which is about 3 blocks wide. So I'm thinking we'll install it down here. Just a little entryway to the sorters there. I'll put a link to Mumbo's silo system in the description, so you can take a look at that, because it's a very nicely done stuff. Yeah, so I'm thinking I'll dig this part out and have the, oh, bye Falaron, and have the Izumavoid's nano farm for here, because then I can maybe I can either siphon off some bones and whatnot, and have them come over here to make bone meal, or I can just have people carry it across from over there. It's a silo, it's right next door. But then people will actually be able to use the bone meal to get wheat autonomically, and well, automatically very quickly, without just by like holding right click every now and then. And they'll be able to get all of the cows, and they'll drop down, and I'll get a little while later they'll get all of the leather, and it'll be perfect and nice and fun. So I don't know if I've mentioned this, but it's one of the key features here at the Gemini Grinder. Is we've got our enchanting table, which is variable, so we can tune it to whatever levels we want. Beneath that, and by the stairway, we have the anvil, so you can make your books, get the enchants you want, and then put them on. And within reach rather, of where you stand to operate all of that, is these chests, the way you get your materials to make books. So you can make all the stuff you need and all sorts. So this is sort of the one place that you need to stand to access and use basically everything. And that one furnace is a little far away, but that's fine. Because let's see, where is the absolute max? There we go. Yeah, there we go. So it's sort of about there, and then you can still control everything. So I may even I may even flip the arch around a bit and have it come down through the ceiling here, so you can hit skeletons. But I'd have to change how all the hoppers go, but that's maybe something for else. So once you've gotten that done, that's the wheat farm. The splash health potion machine, sort of like one stop, but like more industrial, making one kind of potion kind of thing. Because right now you have to stand here and wail away at the skeletons, and it's time consuming and it's hunger inducing. But if we had even like a standard low level, like first grade health potion splash, given how much damage they take from the fall, it will kill them all instantly. So that will be very helpful. That'll make things work a lot faster here. The cow cooker, we've just been working on there, so I'll get the cows in and I'll remove that sign. Furnishing to make the place look nice, because it's now sort of a hodgepodge of ideas and stuff. I've cleaned things up a little bit, but not by much. And of course, most of this place is currently just cobblestone, which, whilst it looks fairly nice in my texture pack, is still kind of overwhelming around here. And then there's the item overflow protection. We don't have to worry about that too much between the bones and the arrows, but it's really more of a problem over here with the rare drops, because you get a lot of very junky kind of bows that don't have any effects on them and are usually like near to broken. I've just combined a whole ton of them recently because this backs up very quickly. Like, when you have a lot of skeletons, or when people going through a lot of skeletons, and they kill them, and they drop bows, and they all come down here, along with all the armor pieces, some of which don't do anything, and all sorts. It gets filled up very quickly because they don't stack, which is the reason I can't sort them at all. So what I need to do is have like a comparator at the back there, probably over like a redstone block next to it, so that when it detects that the hoppers up there are getting full, it triggers a hopper down here to just eject something until the system has got space again. So that way people will be able to actually have as many items coming through the system as they want, and any ones that are evidently not wanted will just get dumped, because while some of these are fairly nice, they're renewable, so we don't need to worry about that too much. So yes, people can come here and get a junk bow or some decent, useful armor, or just a bow to work off when they're repairing stuff and combining stuff, for example, so I could combine these two power 2s and that power 2 to make a power 3 bow if I was feeling particularly cheap. But you also get like chain armor, so that's fine. So that's something I need to do there, is add overflow protection. I might add something similar to the arrows and bones, but there's so much storage for them here that I don't think that'll be necessary. Much, anyways. And there's already actually some a form of overflow protection here, because this very last hopper has a comparator attached to it, and if that has anything in it, then it pauses the timer. So until basically when the items have backed up all the way to that hopper, this whole farm shuts down, which happens only when this is fully set up. So that's good. But I think that is it for today. So, before I ramble on super speed even more, I shall catch you all next time. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like and or favorite. Follow me on Twitter and subscribe to be notified of future updates. You can also check out the website where most other content is uploaded. That's all for now. Catch you later.